Ramadan.
Well, the time is just gone 20 minutes to 5 as we continue this afternoon with the iftar drive with myself, Inayat Wadi. And I must say that this is one segment that I really look forward uh, to hosting. And these are the Voices of Palestine segment. And this is done in conjunction with the Palestine Solidarity Alliance. And I must say, until now, it's just been fascinating talking to the number of people out of Palestine. Yesterday, we had a fantastic discussion with Shuruk Assad, who joined us out of Ramallah, journalist, and talking about the challenges that journalists and she herself, as a journalist, actually faced. And also, we had the opportunity of linking up with Gaza in Gaza City as well yesterday, just talking about young people and their education and how this has been impacted by the genocide. Now, this afternoon, once again, we have the honor of being joined by Sister Manal Tamimi, who is a key activist based in the West Bank and focusing on the freedom of political prisoners. Now, we know about Israel, the system of arrest and detention, which is an integral part of their apartheid system. And again, when one looks at these laws that are governing Palestinian prisoners, there are two sets of laws, one for Palestinians, one for Israelis. We've seen even with the exchange of the prisoners with the captives of Israel as well, we've seen the condition of many of these prisoners that have actually come out of jail. So all of it is evidence enough and for the world to actually see this inhumane system, this prison system, which is more of a military prison system than anything else. Sister Manal, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome and Jazakallah khairan so much for your time. If you could unmute your mic, please, Sister Manal.
Walaikum assalam, and thank you for hosting me.
Yes, Jazakallah so much, and we do appreciate you taking time out. And, as I mentioned, very, very excited because we are doing daily in the month of Ramadan. We are getting voices out of Palestine covering various aspects of this brutal occupation that is taking place. And this afternoon, we want to talk about the prisoners because we've seen so much, as I mentioned, in the first phase of the so-called ceasefire with the exchange of Palestinian prisoners for the captives in Israel. And we've seen the terrible conditions, and we saw many of them come out after many years, what they look like before, what they look like when they came out of prison as well. So if you could, just give us an overview on the plight of the Palestinian prisoners held in the Israeli jails.
Uh, First of all, thank you for giving me this chance to talk about prisoners, which are now one of the most important issues to talk in Palestine. As you mentioned at the beginning, that we are lying under two laws. The military law is applying for Palestinian, and the Israeli law is applying for the Israeli. Even actually, a Palestinian who is living in Jerusalem and occupied 48 are under the military law, not the Israeli one. So since October 7, Israel are practicing brutal attack against the prisoners. Also, especially that Ben Gvir, he became the minister of the internal security, and he's the responsible of the prison administration. So actually, he's practicing his hate and for Palestinian on prisoners. So the situation inside prison is very difficult, especially now that the families since October 7 until now, they're not allowed to visit their sons and daughters. So for nearly a year and a half, they have no news, and many of the prisoners who was released, they were shocked that they some of their relatives died since one of my friends one of his relatives died since a year ago, and he didn't know that he was died until he was released. So the news from outside the prison is rarely go inside it unless there is one of the prisoners, the new prisoners, and if they tell about the general situation. So inside prison now, prisoners are for example, if they want to take a shower, they only have 5 minutes for 10 prisoners. Each 10 prisoners, they go one time. They have only 5 minutes to take showers, to wash their clothes, and immediately after the 5 minutes, the water turn off, so they have no water. So if the person are lucky, the prisoner are lucky, he will be able to take a shower, and otherwise he will wait for another month or for another 40 days to have a chance to take a shower. Some of the prisoners who was released, they were talking about 3 months nearly that they didn't have a shower. And of course, the with the clothes, they don't have any clothes because it's been confiscated since October 7th. So they sometimes they have to stay with the same clothes for 3 months, 4 months, or even more, because they don't have other they don't have more clothes to wear. That's why we can see many diseases began to spread between the prisoners, skin disease, breathing difficulties, asthma, because they're not allowed to go out for what's called fora, which is like it was for 1 hour that they can go outside to walk, to play sports or whatever. Now they're not allowed to have it. I think it's only 10 minutes a day. So and for the food, it's very bad quality and quantity. So they have like 1 spoon of jam or yogurt or hummus every morning, and they have a cup of the disposable one, the plastic cups that with raw rice. It's even not cooked, it's raw rice. And this is the lunch meal. And 99% of the nights they don't have dinner dinner, the rice for lunch, sorry. So that's why you can see the shape of the prisoners, that the least they lost at least they lost 20 kilos. And of course, alongside with the diseases, most of the prisoners, they have to spend sometimes a day or two in the hospital that they've been alongside with the physical and emotional attacks. So prisoners, they are exposed to the sounds and the torture of other prisoners. So they can hear the sound of shouting, of screaming. They could see the blood because the prisoners, when they've been tortured, they've been grabbed in the hallway of the prison. So all the blood is covered the whole way, and it when they want to change cells or to take other prisoners to other cells, they see this blood, which is very hard emotionally, and on the physical level, that prisoners 24/7 they are exposed to torturing. When they want to go to when they want to have their meals, when they want to go out to take a shower, or to even to go to the clinic, every steps they are doing, they are exposed, they've been tortured. And even when they've been released, most of the prisoners, they said that when they are out of the prison going to the buses the day they've been released, they've been beaten brutally, and some of them they have broken ribs or broken hands, or because for the last minute they keep torturing them, and and this show the hatred, how much they are hating, and they want to take revenge of Palestinian prisoners for their release, because they consider this as a weakness. In the case of female prisoners now, we don't have there are I think only 3 or 4 Palestinian female prisoners who was arrested after the last release of female prisoners. Of course, it's way more difficult because they are forced for naked search, which they have to take off all their clothes, and they've been searched there, and sometimes it's in front of male guards, Israeli male guards, or sometimes even they go worse and go further, that they keep the woman half naked and they take her veils away, and she's while she's handcuffed and blindfolded, they take her to cells where our Palestinian male are detained. And this is it's emotional torturing for the female herself and for the male themselves. It's not easy for a Muslim man to see a Muslim woman half naked and being grabbed, blindfolded, handcuffed in front of them, and they can't do anything. So it's not, it's a way of humiliating. Now also since October 7, they began to use administrative detention, which is a secret file that the prisoner are not allowed to see, nor his lawyer. And this secret file, most of the time, it's empty, but they are using it as excuse to put Palestinian in jail. Minors, activists, and it's now. Most of the people, 95% of the people have been arrested after October 7. They are under administrative detention. The worst about this, that they can renew it without even telling the prisoner himself. Many of the prisoners have been, their sentence have been renewed, and they hear it after like 20 days. They didn't know that it's for how long it's renewed, and this has happened most of the time, just like 5 minutes of the time he's supposed to be released, that they take him back to the prison and they don't tell him for how long he's been sentenced.
Sister Manal, can I just stop you there for a minute, please? I need to go for a quick
Okay.
ad break. We're going to go for a quick ad break and we'll be back. We'll put you on hold.
Okay.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Freedom Stationery supply Marlin and Marlin Kids pens to me and my school friends. They supply just about everything we need to help us get a better education, from books to files to rulers. In fact, any any accessory we need. Freedom Stationery. Education for the nation. What does accessory mean?
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic, Sharia, and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings, from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
More than 800 million people around the world live in deep poverty, uncertain of where the next meal will come from. For those on the brink of starvation, a food pack means survival, dignity, and hope. Send food, send kindness. Be the reason a family does not go hungry. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
Valley's Motor Spares. We supply motor spares and accessories for all makes and models of motor cars, LDVs, buckies, trucks, and earth-moving equipment. We deliver on time, every time. Please contact us via WhatsApp on 014-592-0925 or call 014-592-0925 or visit 28 Zenderling Street, Rustenburg. Remember the name, Valley's Motor Spares.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this.
Well, we continue with our broadcast this afternoon right here on Salam Media, and it's our Voices of Palestine series. And this afternoon, we have the pleasure of Sister Manal Tamimi, who is joining us this afternoon out of Ramallah. And we are talking about the plight of the Palestinian prisoners. Now, for all of us who have been following these exchanges, and from what Sister Manal has described, until the last second, when even these prisoners are being released, they are being tortured, in contrast to what we've seen playing out in Gaza, and we've seen Hamas and Islamic Jihad releasing the Israeli captives with honor, with dignity, making sure that they're safe, even to the extent that they are being given gifts. We've seen these captives waving at the crowd in Gaza. We've seen one of the captives kissing the head of 2 of the Hamas resistance fighters as well. Now, this is even the female prisoners that we've seen them as they were being released, smiling, waving, in contrast to what Sister Manal is describing on what is happening to all Palestinian prisoners, young, old, male, female, and not a single one is actually being spared in this brutal military prison system that Israel obviously is enforcing and implementing. Now, Sister Manal, let's just talk a bit about the young people as well. We've spoken about male, female, but we know that many, many children under the age of 18 have been held imprisoned and are also constantly at risk of being imprisoned at any given point in time.
Yeah, of course, it's harder for the prisoner, the children than the adults, and actually, according to the Israeli law, that detained children, they should have an adult Palestinian adults with them. But since October 7, that all the Palestinian prisoner, adult Palestinian prisoners has been taken outside of the children cells, and which left the children alone. And this is, of course, a way of to humiliate the children. And children, they kind of traumatized because they don't know how to deal with the life, prison life alone, and they can't even do it alone, especially that there are many night raids for the soldier to search the cells at least once a day, and most of the time it's twice in the morning and afternoon. Sometimes it's also at night after midnight. And worse than this, that the minors have been put in the Israeli criminal sections, which threatening their lives. And so you could see children when they've been released, they more like distracted and they're not focusing because of the fear and the torture they've been exposed to. And actually Israeli judge, he said that international law are not implemented toward Palestinian children. So they are treated as adults. They don't care about the ages or how or what crime they committed. Just 4 or 5 days ago, there is a child from Jerusalem. He is 14 years old, and he's been sentenced for 20 years in prison because of what they said, that he tried to stab a settler, but he's 14 years old. Yesterday they detained two children from a village, an area called Kofurdan near Jenin. These two children, 7 and 10 years old, they went to spend the night with their grandmother. So the Israeli soldiers, they killed the grandmother in front of the children, and they detained them, interrogating them, torturing them. And then after they kept them naked in the cold, and then after hours they released them naked in an empty area, with nothing, with no phones, with no money, with nothing. And these children, they have to walk until they reach the one of the houses. So they asked for help, and they have to cover themselves with plastic bags that they found, that the black trash plastic bags. They had to cover themselves with these bags because they were shy to walk among people while they are naked. So this is how they are treating the children. And of course everything implemented against female and male prisoners, it's also the same for the children. So they don't consider the ages, the even the physical condition, or if they need any medical special medical treatment, or of course they are denied any medical treatment. But the antibiotic, one pill of antibiotic, if he's, even if for the worst cases like cancer or any other cases, it's only antibiotic. They are not allowed to visit, or the families are denied visiting. Lawyers are denied visiting. I think it's only once a month the lawyer, he's allowed to visit 3 prisoners for 10 minutes each. And we are talking about thousands of prisoners, nearly 9,000 prisoners. So you can imagine it will take years until the lawyer will be able to visit prisoners, especially minors. This is nearly the condition.
Yes, and also just finally, the entire world cannot claim that they are not aware of the plight of the prisoners in Palestine, because in recent months, so much has been said, so much has been shown on global television, global media, but still, one still thinks that mainstream media and certain countries in the West still seem to turn a blind eye to the plight of the people of Palestine. And again, we see the propaganda coming through from the Israeli government. We see so much propaganda even from their own captives that were released as well. You know, we've seen a lot of it was stage managed as to how badly they were treated in Gaza, in captive by Hamas. We've seen some of that already starting to filter through. But again, we need to continue, Sister Manal. And also for us here in South Africa, you know, we will continue talking about the prisoners in Palestine, highlighting their plight. And, you know, as and when the occasion arises as well, we will definitely raise this issue even with our own government, raise it during protests, all of this at the end of the day. And I suppose that is what you would expect from the world as well, is not to lose focus on the plight of Palestinian prisoners.
Yeah, it's true what you said. Unfortunately, that the world, we don't have to talk. You just have to see videos and to see the news and to see to go for social media, and you will see the crimes and the genocide committed against Palestinian, especially the genocide inside prison that nobody knows about it. But unfortunately, with the three leaders controlling the world, three crazy leaders, which is Netanyahu, Trump, and Musk, now they are controlling the world. We know that no one gonna be able to do anything to help Palestinian, even if they want, because anyone helping Palestinian, he will be threatened and he will be boycotted and he will be treated as a criminal, as much as they are treated Palestinian as a criminal. And I'm talking about the United States and about Israel. But it's so important to keep talking about this. It's so important to keep publishing it, because this to insist to talk, this is a way of resistance, and our resistance, it's not done yet, and it will keep go on until the liberation. But what's happening in Palestine, it has a bad impact on the worldwide. Every country will be uh, will be will have impact of what's happening in Palestine. We could see the region, how is what's happening in Syria, what's happening in most of the countries. It's related in a way or another to what's happening in Palestine. It's important to keep talking. I know that our voices, maybe it's not enough, because we can't see change in the policy of the governments. We can't see any change from the European countries. We can't see any change from the United States, the Arab countries even, and the Islamic countries are keep silent. They are talking, but talking is not enough. They have to take real steps to boycott Israel in all levels. They have to make to, even if they have to cut the petrol and the gas against America, to use it as a weapon against America, against the European Union, against Israel, against. So there are real. They have to take real steps, not just condemnation, not just talking, not just calling to stop the genocide. This is not enough. Since a year and a half, there's no change happening. So it's time for real steps, painful steps for Israel and the other countries, so they be forced to make real steps to force Israel to stop this genocide.
Well, Jazakallah khairan so much for that, Sister Manal, and also for your time with us this afternoon right here on Salam Media. And this has been our intention throughout this month of Ramadan as well, to get voices out of Palestine so that we can become the voices on behalf of the voices of the people of Palestine, inshallah. And once again, Ramadan Kareem to you as well, inshallah. Allah make it easy. Allah reward your efforts as well, the wonderful work that you are doing as well to uphold human rights, and more importantly, in terms of the work as far as the prisoners are concerned. So for all of that, we thank you, and once again, we appreciate your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam. Thank you.
Sister Manal Tamimi from Nabil Saleh joining us this afternoon. Once more, another fascinating discussion, another angle, just focusing on the prison system in Palestine, and also the brutal military system that the Zionist entity obviously has implemented. As we've heard from Sister Manal, what the plight of the prisons have been. No one is spared. Young, old, women, children, nobody, but nobody is spared. With that, we're going for a break. We'll be back.